Welcome to the agenda with me, Lasha Kingsley in Douala, Cameroon. Tonight we talk culture, and we are going to be focusing on the Ninong Culture or Festival of Arts Culture in the southwest region of the country. And like I told you today, we are talking culture, and the people of Ninong clan in Kupe Mwaninguba division of the southwest region of the country, as from the 15th of this month, will be celebrating their cultural festival. And we are blessed tonight to have one of the spokesperson of the said cultural festival. He is in the person of Dr. Etime Godwill Ajieh. He is joining me tonight, of course, and it is the second time he is coming on the program. This time around, he is coming in the capacity of a spokesperson for that cultural event, which will be staged as from November 15 through November 20, 2022 in that part of the country. Stay with us, as we'll be back shortly after this jingle break. Dr. Etime, thank you so much for joining me once again on this other edition of the program. We are glad you honored our invitation tonight to talk culture, and this time around, like I earlier mentioned in my introduction, you are wearing a different cap, no longer the cap that you wore 3 years ago when you were on this platform. Welcome once again.
Thank you very much, Mr. Lasha. I think I should say the pleasure is mine, and not only mine, but that of the Ninong people, whom I'm here to represent, and we thank you for all that you're doing.
Thank you, Doctor. And a cultural festival will be staged as from the 15th of this month through the 20th in the Ninong. That is, the people of Ninong clan will be converging on Bangem for this cultural festival. It is the third edition that will be staged over there in that part of the country. And this year, the third edition, of course, is being celebrated under the theme, Reviving an Indigenous Dimming Culture in an Emerging Society. Why did you choose this theme for the celebration this year?
Yeah, the theme, I think you've rightly said, is something which we deliberated on, and we finally arrived at that theme. The reasons are simple. We believe that we all have a beginning. There is always where all of us come back. And we know that our ancestors, we know very well that our parents who left us with the culture have taught us much. And as the years go by, we discover that this culture is dying. So we are doing everything possible, our generation of today, with the others that we are here, to ensure that this culture is revived, and that even the younger ones are actually going to play their own role. And this is through the NICDA, which is the Ninong Cultural Association, which spearheads this.
Okay, of course, this is the third edition. I want to find out from you, maybe you tell us the periodicity of this cultural festival, okay, and a brief history of the cultural festival. Because
okay,
third edition, many people want to know, are you people just waking up from sleep? Because your fathers were probably, okay, your forefathers were celebrating, and it was...
Not at all,
okay,
yeah. Just before I start with this, I think there are people behind this organization. There is a leadership. As I said, Ninong Cultural and Development Association, which was created in 1991. This is the 31st year of existence. And this association is spearheading a lot of development within the Ninong clan. But what is Ninong clan? The Ninong clan consists of 10 villages. These 10 villages are headquartered by a village called Mweba, and with the leadership of the clan chief, who is Kuomba Nhon Ekwelemakoge. We have a national president of this association, and just like you rightly said, we don't think only about men, we think also about women and the children who are coming behind. So this association has 3 wings. It has the men, which is spearheaded by Mr. Ngwese Johnson. It has the female wing, which is spearheaded by Madame Eba Vivian. It has also the youth wing, which already we are building. Coming back to the 3rd edition of the Cultural Association, you know, coming up with such an initiative requires a lot of planning, requires initiatives, requires sacrifice, requires people to be committed for this to happen. The 1st edition took place in 2008. That happened at the headquarters in Mueba, which is the headquarters of Ninong in the Bangem subdivision. The 2nd edition took place in 2015. And since then, there have been a slowdown, and that's why I said we have not just woken up today to say that no, we are having the 3rd edition. A lot of things, although we have not had a cultural festival, but a lot of developments have been taking place by the Ninong Cultural and Development Association, which I'll be elaborating as we move forward.
So what are some of the things that we should be expecting on the 15th of this month?
There is really, as you have said, it is a 5-day program, 15th to 20th, meaning that much is going to be done. And really, this march is not only for the Ninong people, it is for all the Bakosi people, it is for all the lovers of culture, it is for all the Cameroonians who would love to know how the Bakosi man lives, how the Ninong man in particular lives. Just to give you some history, the founder of Bakosi, Nge, was born and is buried in the Ninong clan. So Ninong is the heart of the Bakosi tribe. There you will find a lot of things. So that itself is a cultural, is an attraction for visitors to come for tourism. Just to let you know also that Ninong is placed at the center of culture and tourism. And that is why you will see the patronage is done by the Minister of Arts and Culture of Cameroon under the distinguished patronage of this ministry, and they are supporting us. So some of the activities that we are going to carry on will be developmental, they will be also educative. For example, we are going to have a Miss Ninong. For example, we are looking at boosting our agricultural environment where we are, which is our key core activity of our people who are there.
People produce a lot of plantains.
A lot of plantains, a lot of corn, a lot of coffee, a lot of cassava. You can name as many things as you can think of, pear. So it is a very fertile ground. Then you come to the culture itself. Bakosi has a lot of traditional dances, which many do not know, which the country even needs to showcase, like we are going for the World Cup now and take even some of them along for them to make them proud. You will see a lot of cultural dances that are there. You are going to see artifacts. If you see me here, I'm holding here, this broom you are saying it stands for peace. In the non-man.
But when you came here, I was like, doctor, but when I met you 3 years ago, I didn't see this. Are you a Douala man?
We are a Sawa people.
Yes.
We are people who love peace, and we are people who grow and encourage and live with example of the peace. If you come to a Ninong man, the first thing they will do is for them to welcome you. And when they welcome you, they will give you either a kola nut, and then later on they will give you palm wine.
Yes.
And that is why you see here, this is another artifact, one of the things that you'll be seeing there where we drink our own palm wine. These are just a few of what you'll be seeing there, other artifacts, other things that we do. Then again, Ninong man loves to live healthy.
Okay.
We have very healthy feeding habits. We have best dishes that I think that people in the leisure industry, people in the hotels, or who want to encourage that people should come in and be healthy, they should come down and see the different dishes that we have in Ninong. So Ninong, there are lots of things that then also we have development. Yes. We are talking of, you will be surprised if I say that the Ninong Cultural and Development Association has sponsored the rehabilitation of roads. And we are still planning. As you know, Ninong is at the center of between Kupe Manunguba, between Kupe Mankupe and the twin lakes of Manunguba. And we are a shareholder also, or the custodian, one of the custodians of the Manunguba lakes. So we have a road which is linking from Mueba, which is the headquarters, and Kak, to Manunguba. We are looking at grading this road so that it is motorable. And all of this, we have partners, and we are still seeking for partners that we look forward to. Apart from this, there are still many other things that will go in the program.
Okay, and you guys will be expecting your elites from Yaoundé to
Not
come in, and other big people to come and support.
Yes.
Last time we had an issue with the marine lives in the Twin Lakes that you talked about.
Yeah.
Some were dying, and your traditional ruler, the paramount ruler of your clan, went there to see things for himself. What is the situation of the lake now?
It is very, very normal.
And what are the measures that you were put in place to ensure that the marine lives or the animals that live in the said lake, they are safe?
As I said earlier, we are just one of the custodians of the Manunguba, even these lakes. There is normally a traditional committee or commission that takes care of this, and they have done the needful. They have done the needful, and life has come back to normal. Okay. Also, just to let you know that the government of Cameroon also sent representatives who came there, and they also assured that everything is normal. So on that light, just to add again to some of the things that will be going on and that we have been doing, we are having the publication of one of our magazines. It is called A Sultan. This magazine will be launched on this day, and this magazine gives you insights of how the Bakosi man lives, how a Nino man in particular as a person, what are the things that they do and how they want to grow their culture. It also gives you an idea of who we are as Nigda, and this magazine is being published also by the chairman of the organizing committee, who is Sangwe Nkomakoge.
So what is peculiar of, let me not say Bakosi man or somebody from the Ninong clan, a Ninong man? Like if I meet somebody, for example, in Douala, what can I use as an index to identify that man? Coming from the Ninong clan. What is so peculiar about you guys?
Since we are talking to the public, we are talking to the media, I would have said if you see somebody like me, you know, then there is a Ninong man. Yes. Because our characteristics are simple. We are a peace-loving people. We are a people who are accommodating. We are a people who believe in working together with others. We are a people who believe that togetherness can bring change, and people who believe that giving is a gift to the person who is giving. And that is why we do everything possible to grow our culture, do everything possible not to forget our identity, because where we are coming from is very important. Very, very important. I'm here in Douala. I am living my life as God has permitted me to live, such as others. This association, it does not only involve people who are in Cameroon or in the village, but it involves people even in the diaspora who are actively taking part in this.
In the development
of the village. I can tell you some of it. Apart from the road that I've mentioned, we have pipe-borne water, which has been done today in all the villages. We have rural electrification, which the association has taken part in it and ensuring that all the villages today are electrified. We have sponsorship in education, the schools that are available, that we ensure that the school children go to school, and not just go to school, but go to school in conducive environments where they can learn and come out tomorrow to be better than some of us who did not have those facilities. And that is the cry. And we are seeking for partnership. We are an open-handed population. We know that together with other people who are not only Bakosi or Ninong, you can easily grow. And that is why we are a tolerant population. Okay. We are a tolerant person.
Let me give you the opportunity to say something in a dialect for people who are watching in the village now. What message do you have for them and the Nino man who is watching the village that cannot speak the language that you are speaking now?
Lang anam abasang abanyang ma sia da wo nsonaba sia da mbam bam bam the dawre de bo alat nrasie ampangen ni nam monsil aw tengana na ababana kana baka dia from the 15th awada Tuesday up to Sunday ejeda ana makam bu sia ta yom masie betengana bol mbinam ze sia bedana mongod makam ka bwam mako ba matengana ka mo morela gampo ka wakantana na mo me woje mo bala e woje bala because sia monsi zanyan wa mongod ni yosi le wa. So ndupana masia babu mandia sia monsi da balo jide tengana bol ana sia da wumpo de wop menyinga na kan mongo lentenye monsi.
Okay, Doctor, let's now talk about youth involvement in the development of Ninong. Uh, there's this issue of youth always complaining. How are youths getting involved in the development of your community back home? We are talking about those that are back in the village. Probably your village is free from what we are having, the crisis in the northwest and southwest region. Maybe probably because some of them think that they have to support those who are for nation building rather than complaining every day. What is the situation in your village? I mean, the youths in your village.
I think you have touched one of the most important parts of me on this part, talking about the youths, because the youths, without the youth, there's no community. Without the youths, and not just a youthful population, but an engaged and a committed youth population. I'm so proud at every moment that I think about the youth population of Ninong. Those that are either in the village or out of the village, myself included. But I'll go for the population in the village. In those days, when I was living in the village, we never even once we saw a car at once because of the bad roads, which unfortunately, until today, are not yet the best. Before I talk about the youth, let me just say something. Permit me say something about those roads. Yes. Ninong is at the center of the Mongo division and the Kupe Manugba division. That is the littoral and the southwest division. There is a road linking Ninong from Manjo, which is the Mongo, to Ebonimin, which is my home village. That road is just about 22 kilometers, which if it is repaired, you can imagine the economic advantages that it will give to the people of both Mongo and the southwest region. There is another road which comes from Tombel to Tunyas also to Ebonimin still. And there is another one which comes from Melong, which is still Mongo, from Melong to Bangam subdivision. All these roads, for those who be coming, you can take either of them, but the one we are preferring, because it is very important also to tell our guests where to come, come to Manjo from Melong to Bangam to Njom, then you will come to Nkak, which is the cultural village. Coming back to our youths, you come to my village today, or any of the 10 villages, it is a very vibrant population. Your bikes are like you are walking in the streets. There is no youth in the village today who does not have a minimum of a bike. They have cars because our land is a very fertile land. They have plantains, they have cocoyams, they have coffee, they have corn, you can name it. So the youthful population is very, very active in developing Ninong. And that is the energy and the hope that we have for tomorrow, because we know that with the right support which we are giving to the youthful population in the village, Ninong will be a paradise. And that's where the Ninong Cultural and Development Association actually comes in supporting and guiding them.
Your experience once again. You told me 3 years ago that you came from a no background. You sponsored yourself in school to become who you are today. You are a holder of a PhD in human resource management. You sponsor yourself in school coming from a background. You maybe share your experience to the young person who is watching us today, that you can have zero background, come from nowhere, and you become something today.
As you know, through my book, A Testimony of Faith-Driven Success, I tried to share my experience from a very humble home where we had to do everything possible, seek for people to help you, to sponsor. But there is one thing, which is, where are you heading to? What is your own personal decision? What is your own personal vision in life? What is your goal which you need to achieve? And this is what I'm talking to the youthful population, and not just the youthful, because even today, our adult population, there are many who do not yet have a vision. They don't even know where they are heading to. And if you don't know where you are heading to, you will not be able to look for a way or a strategy that will lead you to where you are supposed to be. So the first is very simple. Be determined and know that no matter where you come from, you still have the same chances of success and possibility like any other person who comes from any background. You may be a starter, you may be a lead way, you may be someone whom people will see and maybe copy. And I believe that, I'm not saying, I believe that many are looking up to me because I know that. And the non-person and the many who are like me, because I'm not alone. That is our objective as NICDA, to ensure that the people have the right education, to ensure that the support, even the government can support us in grading the rules or tiring it. Why not? After 40 years, I told you last day that Godwill Ajieh, at the age of, I was then maybe a child, 40 years after, I'm still passing through those roads and they are the same, the way they are. Despite all the touristic advantages, despite all the economic advantages, despite all the advantages that it has, not only for any non-person, but also for the government. So I believe that one thing is believe in yourself and believe that there is no one who can do for you more than you can do for yourself. That is the message which the Ninon man is passing to the Ninon person and to the world at large, by ensuring that we come together as a people, put our little means that we have, we develop our villages, we develop our clan, not just as individual, but with the right leadership. And this leadership in terms of the cultural association, which is led by Sango Johnson Ngwese, and also our able paramount chief, who has brought people together, who was normally supposed to be here, as you know very well. Our very Sang Kuamba Unhon Ekwele Makoge, who is bringing everybody together, who is bringing a revolution, and who is actually leading us on this theme of reviving the culture, because he has seen that it is something which we cannot deny. It is something which we cannot let go. It is something which we must keep alive, because there is no place like home.
So what are some of those aspects that you feel that was becoming extinct that prompted you to come up with this theme that I earlier mentioned? You talk about reviving. Probably you share some of those cultural aspects that you're talking about. Yeah.
Today, with the exodus, rural exodus, and people seeking for greener pastures, a lot of people have left the villages to towns. And if you come today, maybe the oldest person will be my age in the village. We still have very few old age persons in the village. Yes. So that culture, people understanding what we, on those days, will sit with our parents, our grandparents beside the fireside, and they'll be telling us stories of our ancestors, our culture, even fairy tales on how things were happening. Today we have seen that that is lacking. In Ninong, as a Ninong man, for you to be called a man, there is a process you need to go through. It is not because I'm as big as this. Maybe I'm not yet a man. So for you to be called a man, you need to pass through a process. Yeah, those aspects, when the people will become, we are calling on all Ninong people who have to come there, and those who know the culture or who do not know to ask on how to become a man. You will be made a man. In the program, there is an aspect which is there. Some have heard of traditional dances or even dishes that they have seen or they have never heard. Those things, you will see them there. There are lots of things. We are talking of Ajieh. Ajieh in Bakosi, in a Ninoman, means that giving, celebrating, rejoicing for all that they have done for us. And this is an annual festival. That's why you see that we have not only said Ninon Cultural Festival, we have said Ajieh 2022. That Ajieh stands for celebration. It stands for giving. So we'll share within us, we'll celebrate within us, we have the opportunity to make other people to see our cultures. For example, we have artifacts, we have sculptures that will be available that you can only see in Ninong. Some of them which are even being extinct, that today they don't know. So we have made provision for some of them to be produced, for people even to buy, to sell, for them to keep in their archives and keep it as a legacy for what they have seen. And this also will help us through this cultural festival to that unity, to show that we are united, because a divided persons can never be able to do such an aspect of a thing which we are doing. So it is still, we are in the growth process, but you cannot do that alone. We need partnership, we need support. And I can be proud to tell you that a few companies have actually supported us. For example, Camtel. Camtel has not only given us financial support, but have given us material support also. For example, the SNH, the National Hydrocarbon, which is led by our very own brother from Southwest, Okia, Mr. Okia. So that also they have given us some support on that. For example, within ourselves, we have done everything possible to ensure that we have the funds and the need of what we need for us to be able to move forward.
So what is your last words to the people who are watching us now? Apparently the festival comes up, like I mentioned in my introduction, from the 15th and will run through to the 20th of this month. Your last words to visitors who will be coming into Nkak, where the cultural village is.
I would like to tell everyone, even if you have not made up your mind and you were still on the doubting side, make up your mind. Come
Some
to
of them
Nkak.
will want to know about the security situation.
It is very stable,
safe for them to
very,
come
very safe.
Okay.
There is nothing to be afraid of.
Okay.
Very, very safe. So come to Ninong, and I bet you'll be surprised with joy. Positively surprised, not a negative, a positive surprise of what you are going to see in Ninong. Ninong is a land where everybody should aspire to come and see and maybe invest and even do things, know how things are moving on there.
Thank you, Dr. Etime Godwill Ajieh. Ajieh, you are the spokesperson for the Ninong Cultural Festival this day on the agenda. Thank you so much for answering our call. We did send out the invitation to your paramount ruler, but unfortunately, he could not speak. He designated you to speak on his behalf. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Lasha, and keep working, keep doing the good job.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Welcome to a new world of TV broadcasting. My Major Prime. News, discovery, culture, sports, entertainment. A BT Media Group channel with slogan, The African Eye. My Major Prime is 80% of content in